Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Tyler Matheson. Susie Garib has the night off. Well, to paraphrase Mark Twain, reports of the death of the big bookstore may have been greatly exaggerated. Borders may have closed, so did Walden Books, but Barnes & Noble has survived. Its market value has steadily fallen, and it has struggled to take on the internet and e-books, but it is still here. It survived by changing and adapting and being at the forefront of the e-book revolution with its Nook e-reader, and now a takeover offer for that beaten-down chain, along with its Nook unit from a little-known investment firm called G Asset Management. Initially, investors sent shares of the 128-year-old bookseller sharply higher. But at the end of the session, shares had come back a little, but they still ended up by a solid 5.5%. Courtney Reagan joins us now with more on the takeover offer and what it could mean for America's biggest bookseller. This really sort of came out of nowhere, at least it did today.
Yeah, most certainly, Tyler. And Barnes & Noble has gone through numerous changes over the last few years, and today's news signals it may not be done with its metamorphosis quite yet. Private equity firm G Asset Management has made an offer to acquire the majority stake in the bookseller for $22 per share, marking a 30% premium to the share price at the time of the offer. And that's not all. The private equity firm has alternatively proposed to acquire the majority stake in Barnes & Noble's Nook segment, currently part of the larger company, though a separate business unit and responsible for only about 6% of total revenue. Microsoft owns about 30% of the Nook business right now. Barnes & Noble confirms it has received the offer, but wouldn't comment any further. G Asset Management previously made a $20 per share offer for Barnes & Noble in November, though that wasn't known until today. While the stock did soar in the news, it retreated as Wall Street speculates whether or not G Asset Management has the wherewithal to close the deal. Janney Capital's David Strasser points out several hurdles to the deal, one of which is winning over the handful of large individual investors who own about a third of the company, including Chairman Lynn Riggio. Strasser also says it's not known how secure the financing for the deal is, or, quote, how real the offer even is. Barnes & Noble reports earnings on Wednesday morning, Tyler, so we may hear a little bit more or at least get a viewpoint into what the
So let me make sure I understand this. They're willing to buy either the retail business, the stores, or the Nook? Would they buy both?
Well, if Barnes & Noble agrees to the deal to buy the entire company, Nook is part of that.
Okay.
If they say no to that, it seems as if they're willing to buy just the Nook business.
And we haven't heard from Microsoft, which you said is a big shareholder in the Nook business.
Exactly.
That little part of it. Are they after the retailing? Are they after the real estate? Do we know? We
don't know right now at all. And it does seem to be a little out of nowhere, like you mentioned earlier when we were beginning to talk about this. We're not exactly sure where they see the value, though. They have been brought up the fact that they believe the Nook business is worth more than Barnes & Noble is giving it at this point.
And has G been heard of?
No.
Heard from?
Has not.
No.
Has not at all.
This will develop over the next few days. Courtney Reagan, thanks very much. Have a great weekend.